Now in this video, we will going to discuss about the decisions in supply chain. So first is the design decision. So supply chain design or the network design or strategic decisions involves the following critical issues. What activities should be carried out by the nodal firm and what should be outsourced? So that means, suppose when you want to start a particular product has to be developed, a single product, say for example. So in such cases, which are all the critical issues are to develop that particular product, we have to list them. And in that, which activity has to be carried out by the nodal firm? Who is the nodal firm? The firm who has taken the order will going to become the nodal firm. And what should be outsourced? So he will going to have an outsourcing. That means he will going to have some vendors. So which are the non-critical issues or which are the non-critical parts? All those parts can be outsourced. Then, how to select entities or partners to perform outsourced activities? And what should be the nature of the relationship with those entities? So that we need to consider. So what does it mean? Suppose I will select one particular company or the vendor who can perform activities, or I will going to decide. But how can I decide whether the product which I want or whether the products which I need to outsource, will he has the capacity, will be having his capacity to manufacture that? Point number one. And point number two, whether he will be able to maintain the quality of that particular product which he wants to manufacture. And the point number three, whether he will going to give it in time. All these things which you need to be analyzed before deciding the relationship with those entities. Next, decision pertaining to the capacity and location of various facilities. That's what we've discussed now. Are those facilities that are owned by the nodal firms, in addition to manufacturing, locations and capacities, the firm has also to worry about location and capacities for warehouses. So what does it mean? So here, once the manufacturing location and capacity, so that means you are selecting the vendor depending upon whether he is approachable, whether I will be able to take back the material from the vendor to my location with minimum possible time, with minimum transportation. So that is point number one. The cost is also involved there. The moment when we talk about transportation, always we talk about one is the location and the other one is the cost of transportation. All these two are the main criteria to be considered. And also the firm has also to worry about location and capacities of for warehouses. So that means whether will be able to store the manufactured product in the company or in the firm. That also we need to think of, because sometimes we may not have the capacity to store all those things which will going to place a major role when you want to make the design decision. Supply chain decisions are made for the long term, usually a couple of years, and are very expensive to alter at short notice. That means we cannot change the vendor with a very short notice. It is not possible. So all these things which you need to be considered before taking the decision. So one is the first activity should be, to sum up this, what activity should be carried out by the nodal firm and what should be outsourced. That decision has to be taken. Once that decision has taken, then whether the outsourced company or the entity will be having a capacity to do all these activities which has to be decided by the nodal firm. And also he has to worry about the transportation of the product from the outsourced firm to the nodal firm. So these are the major entities which you need to be considered before taking the decision in the supply chain. The next thing is operations decision. What does it mean? This involves tactical decisions which have a horizon ranging from a day to a month. Both tactical and operation decisions involve the following areas. What is that? Demand forecasting. What does it mean? Forecasting. That means I need the material in this month, this much amount of quantity. So it may be in a month delivery, or it may be a day delivery, or it may be a week delivery, or it may be a fortnight delivery. So suppose if it is a day delivery, they will going to give you 1 week in advance. That means from the beginning of the month, first day you supply 100 components. Then in the second day, I want 150 components. In the third day, I want 75 components, depending upon the size of the component, what I am talking about. So that is what is called forecasting. So that the vendor or the supplier who will go to supply the material to the nodal firm can take the decision. So demand forecasting. Procurement, planning and control. So that means, what is that procurement? Once you give the forecasting, then the supplier will start procuring the material required to develop the product. So that is what is procurement planning. And control. How to control that? Suppose he may say, yes, I want in the month of next month, I want about 1,000 components. So that he will going to give it in well in advance, about 1 month in well in advance. So then he has to procure the material. So because material may not be readily available in the market, sometimes it may has to be procured from outside. So in such cases, he needs time for procuring the material. So that is why it is called procurement planning and control. What is that control means? The control is, suppose I want to develop the product, suppose I want to produce the product in the next month about 1,000 components, I need to have some amount of extra material which may be required to go as a scrap. In such cases, we should not have any shortage. So that procurement planning and control has to be done by the supplier. Next, production planning and control. So what is that production planning and control? That means he need to produce the part in, suppose he wants to supply about in 1 week's time, he want to supply 700 components. In each day, he needs to supply 100 components. And what he does is, he will going to have the of the product depending upon the size and the process involved in the production of the component, what I am talking about. So suppose if you want to develop about 700 components in a week, so that means 7 days, each day he has to supply 100. So that doesn't mean that he has to produce the part of 100 component in 1 day, and then he will go to remove the job, and again he will going to load it tomorrow, and again he supply produced 100 components. No, it is not like that. So he need to, once it is loaded, he has to complete the process, and then only it has to be unloaded. So this may take about 3 to 4 days of production. So he will going to do the 4 days of production in whatever he wants to do it in 7 days, whatever he wants to supply in 7 days, that will be completed within 3 to 4 days, depending upon the size of the product, the time required for producing the product. That is very, very important. So depending upon that, he will going to plan it, and he will going to produce the parts within 4 days, and then he will going to keep on supplying the product according to the requirement of the nodal firm. So accordingly, that is what is called control. Then inventory management. So what does it mean? Inventory, that means the stock. So this plays a very, very major role. That means, suppose I want in a year, I want to produce about 50,000 components, say for example. So that means 50,000 components in a year, or 60,000 components in a year. That means in a month, we need to supply about 2,500 components in a month. So in such cases, suppose 60,000 divided by 12 months, that means 5,000 in a month. In a 5,000 month, in a 5,000 parts in a month has to be produced. So that means he will not keep the 60,000 components required in a year. So he should not keep the stock of the raw material to produce of 60,000 components in January, in the month of January itself. So that is becomes a huge inventory, because he need to supply till to the December. So he is starting in the beginning of the year of January. So what he does, he will, depending upon the material availability, that is also very, very important. So he may keep the stock for about 2 to 3 months. He will going to take the material for 2 to 3 months, and then he will going to produce those in within that stipulated time, and again then he will going to order for another 3 months. In this is way, this is how it will going to be planned, so that the raw material procurement will going to be done in a phase wise or a staggered manner, so that the inventory will comes drastically come down, because inventory has to be minimum. Then only we will going to get a good competitive rate for the product. Then the transportation management. How much time will going to take for the supplier to supply the material from the supplier to the nodal firm, or after the firm gets the material and then it is totally assembled condition, then it has to reach to the customer. So there are a lot of things which are involved here in the transportation management. Since we are talking about the decision in supply chain, so we are pertaining to the product manufacturing. We are talking about only the transportation management for the product management. Customer order processing. So this has to be considered. Suppose a customer gives an order for the manufacture of producing a part for about say about 50,000 components in a month. So customer order processing, then the customer will going to tell you. So he tells you that in the first week I want 10,000, in the second week I want 15,000. In this fashion he will going to ask for the staggered manner. So the customer order processing. So this is what is called customer order processing. So that depending upon the requirement of the customer, accordingly the process will going to be takes place in the firm, so that he will going to fulfill the requirement of the customer order for the entire month in a staggered way. Relationship management with partners in the chain. This is also one of the operation decision. That means the relationship management. That means how the partners will going to play a major role, because the financial flow, because once the management has to decide the supplier chain, the supplier also has to be fed with the requirement of the financial requirement, because he need to pay the salaries and he need to pay for the raw material procurement, and also we are going to have the operational requirement by this in the supplier firm. So all those things which is to be taken care by the management of the nodal firm. Then the demand forecast and the business strategy of the firm, decisions related to the procurement, production, planning, distribution and transportation have to be integrated with customer order processing and inventory management decision. That's what we are talking about. Relationship management essentially involves alignment of incentives to the various entities in the chain, so that overall supply chain performance meets the customer requirements at the lowest cost. That means here, once we have the relationship management, naturally, because they need to be given with the incentives, that means the production incentives, maybe attendance incentives, all these things which will going to be there in the company, so that the the employee will going to be get benefited, and he will going to be get motivated so that to do the work in a most effective manner, which will going to entities, and so that the overall supply chain performance meets the customer requirements at the lowest cost. And the incentives which can be given in the so that which will be at the lowest cost, that means he will be within the profit, whatever the firm will going to get will be shared among the firm and also with the supplier. So this is how the operations decisions will going to be taken care of. In the next video, we will going to discuss about the importance of supply chain. Thank you.